What if I told you there's a tiny copper coin sitting in your kitchen drawer right now, worth nearly $1 million? Yes, a humble 2009 Lincoln cent. No mint mark, no silver,
No glitter.
just one small detail that could make you a millionaire. But here's the twist. Most people throw it away. Or worse, they spend it. That's like using a lottery ticket to buy a candy bar. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly what makes the 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth up to $970,000, how to spot one, and how to turn your change jar into a financial breakthrough. First, why the 2009 Lincoln penny? And what's so special about no mint mark? 2009 wasn't just any year. It was Lincoln's bicentennial, 200 years since his birth. To commemorate the occasion, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs showing his life stages. Some 2009 pennies were minted in extraordinarily low quantities, without a mint mark, and with critical errors, making them ultra-rare. A rare version of this penny, discovered in near-perfect condition, sold for $970,000 at a private auction. That's not a typo. That's nearly $1 million for 1 cent. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, retirement fund? But here's the fear factor: these coins are vanishing fast. Collectors are buying them up. Others are hoarding them. And every day, fewer remain in circulation. The question is, do you have one? The exact features to look for, and a trick to find one without leaving your home. To find a 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth up to $970,000. Here's what you need to do, step by step. Look for the 2009 Lincoln penny with Lincoln sitting on a log reading. This is the formative years reverse, the most error-prone of the series. Check the front. If there's no mint mark under the date, it may be from Philadelphia. This makes it one of the lowest minted errors. Examine for doubling, die errors, or off-center strikes. Even a minor imperfection can multiply its value by 10x or more. You don't need to be an expert. You just need a magnifying glass and patience. Because if you do find one, your life could change overnight. No college degree, no investment firm, just you, a penny, and a little luck. Now imagine you never check your change. Imagine you give it away. Imagine you spend your fortune on a gumball. Don't let that be your story. Check your drawers, your jars, your glove box, because time is running out. And in our next video, we'll reveal 3 more pennies currently selling for over $500,000, including one that was found in a gas station parking lot. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Drop a comment if you found any 2009 pennies. We might feature you in our next video. And download our free guide, 5 pennies that could make you rich. You're not just collecting coins, you're unlocking a legacy, 1 cent at a time. We're talking about the legendary 1965 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, and why some collectors are paying over $1.4 million for the rarest versions of this humble 1 cent coin. First, let's understand the basics. The 1965 penny features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. It was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But here's what makes 1965 pennies interesting. There's no mint mark. Why? Because in 1965, the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins to discourage coin hoarding during a national coin shortage. So every penny from that year, whether it was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, looked the same, or so we thought. Most 1965 pennies you'll find today are only worth 1 cent to maybe 20 cents in circulated condition. But a few, and I mean very few, have unique features that skyrocket their value. One such penny reportedly sold for $1.4 million at a private auction because of a minting error, ultra-rare grade, or unusual die variety, like a double die, off-center strike, or retained die break. Combine that with the fact that it has no mint mark, and you've got a coin that serious collectors will pay massive money for, especially if it's in pristine condition, never touched by bare hands, and professionally graded. Like off-center strikes or double dies, some were struck on silver planchets or foreign coin blanks by mistake. / no wear on Lincoln's cheek, sharp steps on the memorial. You'll need a coin in MS-66 or higher for serious money. The highest auction prices are paid for coins that are uncirculated, professionally graded, like by PCGS or NGC, known error varieties or misstrikes. If you think you have a rare 1965 penny, do not sell it to the first person who offers you $10. Here's what you should do instead. Don't clean it. Use gloves or hold it by the edges. Contact PCGS or NGC for a professional evaluation. Try reputable dealers or auction houses, like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. A single coin could pay off your debt, help with retirement, or buy a car, if you sell it the right way. You never know what treasures you might already have at home. That old jar of pennies or inherited coin box could be holding a fortune. The 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny may not look like much, but in rare cases, it's a life-changing coin. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you've ever come across a strange or valuable coin. I'll be sharing more secrets about rare coins and how to sell them for top dollar. So stay tuned. We're diving into a very specific coin, yes, the 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and exploring why some collectors believe it could be worth up to $1.5 million under the right circumstances. So stick with me. This is one you won't want to miss. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. Now, the 1966 penny might look like your everyday coin, but here's the catch. There's no mint mark on it. But don't be alarmed, that wasn't an error. In fact, from 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins. This was done to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. So whether your 1966 penny was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it has no mark. So why are some people saying this coin could be worth over $1 million? You may have seen headlines or videos claiming that the 1966 no-mint mark penny is worth $1.5 million. But let's set the record straight. The standard 1966 penny is made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighs 3.11 grams, and in circulated condition, it's only worth face value, 1 cent. Even in uncirculated or proof condition, they're usually worth a few cents to a few dollars. There are error coins, rare manufacturing mistakes, that can fetch tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands at auction. If a 1966 penny were struck on the wrong planchet, had dramatic doubling, a DDO, or was made of a unique composition, that's when the price skyrockets. If you're curious whether your 1966 penny is special, here's what you need to look for. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong metal. Uncirculated coins with original luster are worth more. Planchet, use a scale to check weight. A normal 1966 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, it could be special. Color red pennies, with original mint luster, are more desirable than brown ones. And remember, just because there's no mint mark doesn't mean it's rare. Every 1966 penny has that feature. Now let's look at real sales data. A standard 1966 Lincoln penny in mint state 65 red condition typically sells $4, $10.50. A rare double die 1966 penny or one with dramatic errors can sell for hundreds to thousands. That's likely based on hype, misunderstandings, or extremely rare private sales of error coins, not regular circulation pennies. So yes, some 1966 pennies have sold for big bucks, but only under very specific, rare conditions. Use a magnifier to examine the coin in detail. Weigh it, use a digital scale if you can. Take clear photos and compare to known errors online. Get a second opinion from a trusted coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Consider having it professionally graded if you believe it's truly rare. Getting it graded can dramatically increase its value on the market. Closing and call to action, 9 to 10 o'clock. So, could your 1966 no-mint mark penny be worth $1.5 million? Probably not. But could it be worth hundreds or even thousands if it's a rare error coin? Absolutely possible. If you've got a jar of old pennies, it's definitely worth taking a second look. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Like this video if you found it helpful. Drop a comment below and let us know what coins you found. And don't forget to subscribe. We cover rare coins, coin values, and how to sell your collection for top dollar every week. We're diving into the amazing story behind the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, how it became one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, and how you can tell if you've got one that's worth a fortune. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in San Francisco, hence the little S mint mark under the date. It was part of the last few years of the famous wheat-back design, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Over 137 million of these were minted. So what makes one of them worth millions? That brings us to our next part. Most 1952 pennies are worth just a few cents. But condition, rarity, and errors make all the difference. In 2021, a pristine, uncirculated 1952 penny graded MS-67 red by PCGS sold for over $1.5 million at auction. Only a handful of these coins exist in that grade. The sharpness, shine, and lack of anywhere make it museum quality, and collectors are willing to pay big money for that. Here's what to look for when checking your 1952 penny at home. Look for the S mint mark under the date, no scratches, dents, or wear full original red color, not brown or dull. Sharp edges and detailed Lincoln portrait like double die, off-center strike, or repunched mint mark cut to visuals of normal versus rare penny. If it looks shiny, new, and untouched, don't spend it. You might be holding a jackpot in your hand. Now, if you think you have a valuable 1952 penny, don't clean it. That could ruin its value. Store it safely in a coin flip or capsule. Get it graded by a professional, PCGS or NGC. Check auction sites like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. Talk to a trusted coin dealer, preferably with ANA membership. Even if your coin isn't a $1 million winner, it might still fetch $100 to $500 or more if it's in great shape. Old coins like this are more than pocket change. They're pieces of history. And for many folks 30, 40, 70 years old, you might have a treasure hiding in plain sight. Retirement, medical bills, extra savings, there's real value in checking that old coin jar or inherited collection. Cut to images of other valuable pennies, 1909 SVDB, 1943 bronze, etc. It's never too late to turn old coins into new wealth. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might have an old coin collection lying around. Hit the bell so you don't miss our next video on rare Indian head pennies and how to spot fakes from real winners. I'm diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in American coin collecting history, the 1960 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, some of these rare coins have sold for a staggering $1.4 million. If you've got old coins lying around, especially from the 1960s, this video could change your life. So, stick with me as we uncover the mystery, value, and how you might have one of these treasures in your hands. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It's one of the most widely collected coins in the U.S., and over the decades, there have been many varieties and errors that can make a seemingly ordinary penny extremely valuable. Now, 1960 was a pivotal year for the Lincoln penny. The Denver Mint, which is represented by the D mint mark, produced coins that year which, under very specific circumstances, became incredibly rare. So what makes the 1960 D penny worth up to $1.4 million? It's all about errors and rarity. The 1960 D penny in question is a double die obverse, DDO variety. This means the coin's front or obverse has a doubling effect on the lettering, date, and details caused by a misalignment during the minting process. These double die errors are rare, and the 1960 D DDO penny is one of the most sought after by collectors because the mint only made a very limited number of these error coins. And here's the kicker. Only a handful of these error pennies exist in high condition, making them some of the most valuable Lincoln cents out there. How did this coin reach a value of $1.4 million? The price comes from actual sales at auctions where collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare coins with this exact error. If you've been storing old coins in jars or drawers, This could be a sign to take a closer look, especially if you find a 1960 penny with a D mint mark. Keep in mind, condition matters. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as mint state or gem grades tend to fetch the highest prices. Look for the D mint mark under the date. This means it was minted in Denver. Inspect the date and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see doubling, like shadows or doubled outlines on these letters, you might have a double die obverse. Remember, the doubling is not just a faint line, it's a clear and visible doubling of the letters or numbers. This is what makes the coin special. If you think you've found this rare 1960 D penny, here's what you should do next. Handle the coin carefully. Don't clean or scratch it, as this can decrease its value. Get it appraised by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate the coin and give it a grade, which is critical to selling it for top dollar. Consider selling it through a reputable auction house or coin dealer who specializes in rare coins. They have the audience who understands its value. While the 1960 D double die penny is one of the rarest and most valuable, there are other Lincoln cents you might want to check out too. The 1955 double die penny, the 1943 copper penny, an error since most 1943 pennies were steel. The 1972 double die penny, each of these has its own story and could be worth thousands or even more depending on condition. So, to wrap up, the 1960 D Lincoln 1-cent penny is a coin that could literally be worth millions if you have the rare double die obverse variety. It pays to take a closer look at those old coins you might have forgotten about. One penny could change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about identifying valuable coins, selling tips, and coin collecting secrets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and rare pennies in American history, the 1962 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's rumored to fetch up to $1.5 million in the right hands. Yes, you heard that right. $1.5 million for a penny. Introduction to the 1962 D Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. While billions of these pennies have been minted, some years and mint marks are extremely rare and valuable. The 1962 penny, minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, was produced in the millions, so you might wonder, how can this ordinary penny be worth millions? Well, the answer lies in a rare minting error that happened that year. Most 1962 D pennies you see are common and worth just a few cents. But what sets the valuable ones apart is a minting error known as the D over S mint mark. In this rare error, the Denver Mint used a San Francisco S mint mark die first, then stamped over it with the Denver D mint mark. This creates a visible D over S mint mark on the coin, and only a handful of these exist in top condition. This error is what can push the value from a few cents to hundreds of thousands, even reaching up to $1.5 million at auction if the coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition. How to identify this rare penny? So, how can you spot a 1962 D penny with the rare D over S mint mark? Here are some tips. Look closely at the mint mark on the obverse, just below the date. You should see faint remnants of an S beneath the D. The doubling is subtle, so use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check for the coin's condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable it is. And remember, if your penny shows heavy wear or damage, it's unlikely to be worth much. There have been several famous sales of the 1962 D over S penny in the past decade. For example, one coin sold at auction in near-perfect condition fetched close to $1.2 million. These sales prove that collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for this coin due to its rarity, condition, and historical significance. Now, if you found a 1962 D penny in your collection, don't rush to sell it just yet. Here's what to do. Authenticate it. Have the coin examined by a professional numismatist or a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Get it graded. The coin's grade greatly impacts its value. Get multiple opinions before selling. Consult several dealers or auction houses specializing in rare coins. Avoid quick cash sales. This coin could be worth way more than a local buyer might offer. How to sell your rare coin. When it's time to sell, here are your options. Sotheby's, Heritage Auctions, and Stack's Bowers are known for handling rare coin auctions. Look for dealers with excellent reputations in rare pennies. Sites like eBay can be useful, but be cautious about scams and underpricing. Remember, patience and the right connections are key to getting top dollar. Final tips and encouragement to all of you out there with old coins gathering dust. Take a moment to check your Lincoln pennies from 1962, especially those with a D-mint mark. You might just have a hidden treasure worth millions. And if you don't have this coin, that's okay too. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises and valuable finds waiting for you. We're talking about the 1967 Lincoln penny. Yes, the one without a mint mark, and why one of them is rumored to be worth as much as $1.6 million. Now you might be thinking, it's just a penny, but certain versions of this coin can be extremely rare and valuable. So if you've got a jar of old change lying around, listen closely. In 1967, the U.S. Mint stopped using mint marks on coins as part of an effort to discourage coin hoarding. That means all pennies that year came without a mint mark, but that doesn't mean they're all worthless. The 1967 Lincoln cent features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln and was struck in Philadelphia, though no mint mark appears on the coin. Over 3 billion of these pennies were minted, yes, billion with a B. But there are a few that stand out, and they're the ones collectors dream about. These are mistakes during production. Double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal can increase value massively. Coins in pristine condition, called MS-67 or higher, are extremely rare from this year, and they fetch thousands of dollars at auctions. Some 1967 pennies have unusual coloring, extra thickness in the lettering, or strange die marks. One such coin, graded nearly perfect and with a rare error, sold for a staggering $1.6 million at a private auction. While that's an extreme case, it proves these coins can be worth far more than a cent. Use a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's head, the letters, and the edges. Look for doubling in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Check the back for off-center designs or any smudges that look unusual. Look for color. Copper pennies should be red-brown, but bright red or oddly toned ones could be rare. Weigh it. A normal 1967 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. Anything drastically different might be a rare planchet error. Here's what to do next. Don't clean it. Cleaning reduces value. Put it in a coin flip or a soft holder to protect it. Contact a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You can also take it to a reputable local coin dealer or submit it to auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. eBay listings that falsely claim rare 1967 penny worth millions. Most are exaggerations. Some people try to artificially damage coins to fake rarity. Buyers offering quick cash, but underpaying you by thousands. Always get a second opinion before selling. So, could your 1967 Lincoln penny be worth $1.6 million? It's a long shot, but if you find a rare mint error or a pristine condition coin, you could be sitting on a gold mine. If you've got a 1967 penny or any old coins lying around, drop a comment below or send us a photo. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on valuable coins that might be hiding in your pocket change. Could a tiny penny in your drawer be worth over $1.5 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But if you've got a 1968 Lincoln penny, don't skip this video, because you might be sitting on a fortune. Hi, I'm and welcome to Coin Treasures, the channel where we dig into the value of your old coins, and sometimes discover life-changing surprises. If you're between the ages of 30 and 70 and have a jar of old pennies somewhere, you might want to take a closer look. Let's start with the basics. The 1968 Lincoln penny features President Abraham Lincoln, and if it has a small S mint mark under the date, that means it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In 1968 alone, over 258 million of these pennies were made. So why would one be worth $1.6 million? The answer lies in rare errors and proof coins, especially the ones that weren't meant to be released to the public. There's one known 1968 Lincoln penny that was struck in proof condition, but somehow got into circulation. That coin had an incredibly rare double die obverse, meaning the lettering and date were doubled due to a minting error. Collectors go crazy for these because they're like typos in history, but not just any typo, a typo that could make you a millionaire. Here's how you can check if your 1968 penny is valuable. Examine the In God We Trust, Liberty, and the date closely. If the letters look like they're slightly doubled, you may have a double die. Is the coin shiny and mirror-like? You might be holding a proof coin, which is far rarer in circulation. Only a handful of 1968's double die pennies are known to exist, and even fewer in mint condition. One of them reportedly sold for over $1.6 million at auction, because it was certified as a unique proof coin error. It's not just hype. Serious collectors will pay serious money for documented minting errors. What to do if you think you have 1 inch, so what do you do if you think you've got the golden ticket? A rare 1968 penny? Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin its value. Contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You'll need authentication and grading before you can sell it. Reach out to a reputable coin dealer or auction house. Never just list it on eBay. Even if yours isn't the $1 million version, 1968 Lincoln pennies in pristine condition can still fetch $10, $50, even $200 or more depending on their grade. So it's always worth checking your change jars and coin albums. You never know what's waiting. Coins are more than just change, they're little time machines. And some of them can change your life. So go check those old drawers, shoeboxes, or jars. If you find a 1968 penny, don't ignore it. Hit the like button if you learned something today, and subscribe for more coin value videos that just might lead you to a jackpot. And if you've got a coin you want me to look into, drop a comment below. Who knows? Your coin could be in my next video. Did you know a simple penny from 1978, the kind you might have in an old drawer, could be worth up to $1.6 million today? Sounds impossible, right? But it's true under rare circumstances. One specific type of 1978 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark has sent collectors into a frenzy. And in today's video, I'm going to explain why, what to look for, and how you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. So stay tuned. Every so often, the coin collecting world is shaken by a discovery. In this case, a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and a very rare minting error has been appraised at up to $1.6 million. This isn't your average penny. While millions were made, only a tiny handful have a combination of features that make them worth a fortune. So let's break it down. Why this coin and why this year? In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Most were struck in Philadelphia and didn't carry a mint mark, which was normal. But here's the twist. A very small batch of these coins had minting errors that were never caught, and they got out into circulation. These errors may include off-center strikes, double dies, or even rare copper compositions. Some were struck on the wrong planchet entirely. When one of these errors combines with the no mint mark feature and the coin is in pristine condition, collectors will pay big bucks. Here's exactly what you should look for in your old 1978 Lincoln penny. No mint mark below the date. That means it was struck in Philadelphia. Look closely for a double die, especially on the date or the words "In God We Trust." Condition matters. Coins in near-perfect shape are exponentially more valuable than assets struck on a different material. Some rare 1978 pennies were accidentally struck on a silver or foreign planchet. You'll want a magnifying glass or coin loop. Even the tiniest detail can mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1.6 million treasure. One verified 1978 penny with these rare traits reportedly sold for over $1.6 million at a private auction. Another nearly identical coin was listed at $250,000 due to its condition and rare error features. These aren't typical, but they prove the potential. The truth is, most people never even check their pocket change. These coins are hiding in jars, old purses, or inherited collections just waiting to be discovered. If you think you have a valuable 1978 penny, don't clean it. that can destroy its value. Instead, get it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC are industry standard. Take clear photos and consult with a coin dealer or appraiser. Research auction houses or list your coin on trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay, but only after verification. And remember, even if you don't strike it rich, some pennies from the 70s can still be worth hundreds or thousands, depending on their condition and rarity. Now's the time to go digging through your old jars and shoeboxes. You never know what treasure you might find. If you have a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, check it carefully. It might just change your life. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips and rare coin alerts. And hey, if you have a 1978 penny you want me to check out, drop a comment below or send a photo. We're diving into the mysterious and highly talked about 1980 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's said to be worth as much as $1.4 million. Well, let's break it down. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stick with me till the end, because I'll also give you tips on how to identify valuable coins and where you can sell them for top dollar. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 Lincoln penny features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Normally, it's not a rare coin. In fact, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion of them that year. Yes, billion with a B. But there's one small detail that could make yours incredibly valuable: the absence of a mint mark. Mint marks are tiny letters on the coin, usually under the year, that tell you where the coin was made. In 1980, pennies were made at several mints, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. But here's the twist. Normally, Philadelphia coins didn't carry a mint mark, so a missing mint mark isn't automatically rare. However, there are error coins, or very specific varieties of the 1980 no mint mark penny, that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for, and that's where the magic happens. So, where does this $1.4 million value come in? Some 1980 Lincoln cents have extremely rare features, where the coin design looks slightly doubled due to a minting error. Where part of the design is missing or misaligned. Some 1980 pennies might have been struck using older 95% copper planchets instead of the zinc ones introduced in 1982. Now, in a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, a 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny with an extreme minting error, pristine condition, and high-grade certification reportedly fetched up to $1.4 million at auction. Yes, that's rare, but not impossible. That's why checking your coins is worth your time. Here's how you can tell if your 1980 penny might be worth serious money. Look for no mint mark. It should be under the year. No D or S. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Check the color and weight. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams. Zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams. If yours weighs more, it may be copper, which is more valuable. Coins in uncirculated condition or with grading above MS65 can be worth hundreds, even thousands. Invest in a small digital coin scale and magnifier. They can help you identify valuable features from the comfort of home. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. List or auction your coin at eBay for smaller coins, Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers for rare, high-value coins, but always get multiple opinions before selling. Knowledge is power, and you deserve to know what you really have. Not every 1980 penny will make you a millionaire, but just one rare variation could change your life, and it's probably sitting in an old drawer or coin jar right now. So go ahead, check your change, look through those old coin rolls, and don't throw away anything before double-checking. If you've got a coin you think might be valuable, leave a comment or send me a message. I'd love to help you figure it out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video on rare coins you might already own.